What's up out there? We are back with some more Path of Exile, Keepers of the Flame League. This is my Critical Strike, Cyclone Berserker, whatever you want to call it. Last league I did a Impale Cyclone Berserker with Rage and all that. This league, instead of doing Impales, I did Critical Strikes, and that's because of these Flesh Rippers that I've been getting. These, just luck of the draw, I've gotten these. Well, this one came from that Breach Tree, but the one that I got as a drop, I was using it as just a regular melee weapon. And then I looked at this, I'm like, well, it's got critical strike. So I actually tried changing my build from impales over into crits, and I got some good feedback. Mainly that I need to be doing a lot more critical strike. My critical strike chance needs to be a lot higher. So some of the feedback that I got from the previous video, I've applied, and some things that I had started in the previous video, I've applied. And that's what this video is just kind of an update. So like this Alpha Sal, I went and bought the div cards for it, threw it in my stash because I couldn't equip it at the time, and then forgot about it. And then as I got feedback from the video the other day, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot about that Alpha Sal. But anyway, we're going to talk about the changes that I've made since the last video. One of the comments that I got in the last video was that I should run a Stone Golem. So I was running Vitality, and it was just level 1 Vitality because I didn't have enough mana left to upgrade the skill gem. So I was just running it at level 1, and my life regen was, I don't know, this is less life regen than I had the other day. I had like let's say 450. And if I turned Vitality off, it would go down to like 440. So Vitality wasn't really doing all that much for me. So the suggestion was to throw a Stone Golem in, which I did. And that thing lived for about half a second and was dead. So it's like, well, that's useless. So I got rid of that. The other thing was, recommended to use Assassin's Mark with, mark on hit and things like that. I don't have enough mana to actually cast that, so I threw it in Life Tap. I tried that for a minute. Man, I think I was taking way more hits because it was costing me a lot of life. It was like, I don't know, 200 life or something like that, which may not seem like much, but when you're in the middle of combat and you've got Blood Rage going off and you've got a few other things going on, taking damage, I'm already a little squishy to begin with. I don't have as much life as I should. When that thing was going off with the increased reservation efficiency and all that, or increased reservation cost, I should say, it wasn't doing me any good. But it got me to thinking about power charges, because part of the comment that was leading to the Stone Golem and the Assassin's Mark and everything was that I needed to raise my crit chance quite a bit. So that's where I came with the idea of power charges. Now, before we dive into that portion of it, I did have the Alpha's Howl. I bought some div cards and I couldn't equip it because I didn't have enough dex. So I got to look into my build. I had int on both my chest piece and my gloves. So I was able to, I had int and dex. I think my gloves, I replaced my gloves and I put int on them this time, which I could actually swap these gloves out for something different maybe, but I needed to get more int and dex and everything to equip this thing. And now that I'm looking at this was dex. Yeah, I don't remember. I needed the int. Yeah, whatever. It's long convoluted story. I needed both int and dex because I needed int for my support gems and I needed dex for this thing. And somewhere along the line, I got all that sorted out. I got the Alpha's Howl equipped, and that gives me a little bit more reservation efficiency. And along the lines of doing that, it means I could ditch Vitality and then level up Precision. So I've got Precision leveled up to 18. I don't know if I'm going to be able to continue going up with this. I might have to actually take this thing out and drop it down here because there's 40 mana left. There is 25. So if this continues to level, I may not get it to the point where it may get to the point where it turns off. So I may have to, because it's getting +2 levels. So this is what it would be if it was level 20. I don't know what it's going to be at level 22. I may have to just go ahead and move that down here. The cool thing with Determination and Purity of Elements is these are 50% no matter what you do. Reserve 50% mana. Now they only actually reserve 39% because of all the reservation efficiency that I've got in here, but these do not go up in cost as you level it up, where this is it reserves a specific quantity of mana, not a percentage. So the quantity of mana goes up as you raise it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to continue going with that. So like I said, I may have to actually pull this over here, but it's working right now and it's all balanced out. So let's see, I added the Alpha's Howl. I also added Blood Rage. So one concern that I had is that my Frenzy and Endurance charges just weren't sticking around all that much. Like I felt like they were dropping off constantly, and I'd look up and I'd see one charge of each. So I put Blood Rage in with automation so that thing's running constantly. That's I think it's helping generate Frenzy charges. I've also moved, I don't remember, I had some points somewhere else. I don't remember where they were exactly. I think Juggernaut. I had points into Juggernaut that I moved over into Cloth and Chain for a little bit because once I put the Alpha's Howl on, it gave me evasion rating. I tinkered around with coming over here to Iron Reflexes, which, to take advantage of the evasion and convert that over into armor. It didn't really do a whole lot for me, so you can see I've backed out of all that. And I backed out of Juggernaut in favor of Inexorable. So Inexorable gives you a chance to gain an endurance charge when you're hit, and you're just basically getting hit all the time. So I thought that would be a good trade-off to try to keep my endurance charges up. You know what I mean? I get, wrong button. I get endurance and frenzy charges on kill, but it's only an 8% chance and you have to kill a lot for it. So you're not really getting them all that much. It didn't feel all that great. Let's see here. Because of the comment about Assassin's Mark, I started looking at where I could get sources of power charges. And if you have the points to spare and come way over here, you get an 8% chance to gain a power frenzy or endurance charge on kill. And I thought that'd be cool. So I thought about taking that. And then my big brain got to working and I was like, on the assassin side of things, we've got Disciple of the Forbidden. So I ended up anointing this. So I get +1 to minimum power charges and a chance to gain power charge on kill plus increased damage per power charge. So it would be nice to stack power charges for sure. But I also get increased damage per frenzy and endurance charge. So I need to stack those as well. So all good on the charge front. I now have all 3 charges. That gives me an increased critical strike chance, which I think now I'm up at like 70% once this rolls out. So it's more than 50%. It's a little bit more towards positive. I fixed a few other things too. So I didn't realize it. I kept noticing my diamond flash just wasn't going off and it didn't equate to me. But this thing was corrupted and it didn't have used when charges reach full. I just threw it on there because it had like a 24% quality or something like that. And I was like, oh, cool, and it didn't dawn on me, hey, you need to have it used when full. So all these other flasks were going and the critical one just wasn't. So I swap that out to one that actually can use when charges when full. I've also made sure that these are better flasks. So these are all level 82. I could probably raise the level of that life flask. I need to mess with that one maybe, but it's kind of doing its purpose. But I ended up re-rolling all of these. That way they're all going. I wanted to get at least gain 2 charges on hit, if not gain 3, or go into chance to gain with crit. So I tried rolling a little bit better gain chance with crit, and I don't know. I'm still not sure which is better, whether it's gain charges on hit or gain charges on crit. Probably on hit with this build, but with other builds, maybe on crit. So that was good. So I've replaced all that. And that kind of brings us up to where we are. I'm going to go just run. I don't really care about the map here. I've been trying to collect some harvest juice. One thing I might try to roll in is these diamond rings, try to re-roll these maybe at some point. I'm waiting on this hive brain gland. I don't know what that thing does, but I want to get leveled up before I go mess around with it. So what we're going to do is run in here. I'll show you a quick map. Let's see here, make sure that we are on that. And I am collecting up some flasks. I'm going to skip all this stuff, just try to get damage generated. So you can see that we're doing 1.4 million DPS. I think POB says this is racked out at 1.5 million. I'm not entirely sure that I've got POB calculated correctly, but I've got 1.47 on the tooltip DPS, which is really good, I think. We're at 30,000 armor, which could definitely stand to improve quite a bit. That's with my rage fully leveled up, or I'm sorry, maxed out. That's full rage. That is all the, let's see, what do we get for movement speed? 66%. So we go to 108 to 66. That's when you run Cyclone, your movement speed actually goes down. So you go from 108, you lose 40% movement speed. But with the way everything else is set up, I'm actually rolling along just fine. So the movement speed feels really good. The damage feels really good. And yeah, I I think the build has definitely improved a significant amount in the last couple of days. It's still far more squishy than I really want it to be, but it is a lot better, and I've gotten my DPS. I think I was at 1.2, 1.3 the other day. I've fluctuated up and down. Like, as I've made choices, the DPS has gone down slightly, and then I make other choices, and the DPS goes up. But having power charges, oh yeah, I meant to show the power chart, or the charges, because that was one of the big concerns that I had. Let's see here. Get into some combat. We're gaining charges. The charges are staying there. Like, they're not just dropping off. We've got 10 seconds on each charge. It's just staying at 10 seconds on each charge. So they're not dumping off as quickly as they were before, which is good. That was one of the big things that I wanted to get solved. I didn't want to look up and see one charge on each of these constantly, you know. So between getting hit and the one getting hit node, and then the blood rage and all that. The interesting thing is the power charges have been staying up fairly well, just on 8% chance to gain on kill. So I'm pretty happy with that. I didn't have to do anything else with it. But yeah, it's working out a lot better. And let's see, I wanted to hit that button. It's working out a lot better. The changes have definitely improved this build. I can definitely get the critical strike chance higher. I just need to get my resistances fixed and get these rings equipped in there, and that would bring that up. I could probably get more crit chance on my weapon, because this has got, well, it's got tier 2 on here. And critical, oh, that's multiplier. Tier 1 crit chance. I could also take out, if I could, I don't know that I could take out accuracy. I could probably take out pulverize and put the, this is increased critical strike multiplier. I could also get the increased critical strike chance in here. That might help out a lot too. It's just, I need, well, you know, I could probably do that now. I just need to color it with 3 blues, 2 greens, and a red. So maybe I'll try that out and see how that goes. But at any rate, those are the changes that I've made, and still just waiting on the Escape from Tarkov. The game is up, ready to go. I just can't connect to download it, so I might play this a little bit more today and get a little bit further. But I know I said I wasn't going to make any other video for this up, and but we're waiting on Tarkov to actually come out now. So it's out. It's just not available to be logged in and played. But at any rate, that is going to do it for this video. Those are the changes that I've made. I'm very pleased with this. This has turned out a lot better than I thought it would. Going into crits and everything, it's just a different way of doing it rather than the impales. I think both versions are really good. I need to see where crit can actually go, like what kind of high end can I get and things like that. Can I get the 3 million DPS that I did with the impale version last league, and things, what drawbacks are there to all of this? Like if you get hit with you're blinded, because I think blinded affects your accuracy, or you get hit with reduced accuracy or something like that. Like what all map modifiers do you have to contend with and everything? I don't know. Anyway, kind of getting to rambling on. That's going to do it for this video. We will catch you on the next one. Take care.